Hi everybody! We all know jockey as an integral part of our lives, but surprisingly, very few people know that Page Industries, the licensee of the jockey brand, has proved to be a stock market goldmine for Indian investors. And if you look at the ticker tape numbers, it is nothing short of extraordinary. In the past 14 years, Page Industries has delivered a return of 14,000% to its investors. And if you draw a comparison with its competitors, while Rupa generated a revenue of 1,319 crores, Lux stood at 1,964 crores, whereas Page Industries was way ahead with a revenue of 2,852 crores. And even in terms of net income, while Rupa stood at 175 crores, Lux stood at 271 crores, because of jockey, Page was miles ahead with a net income of 340 crores. So the question is, how did Page Industries turn jockey into such a powerful player in the Indian market? What was their business strategy to stay ahead of their competition? And as usual, what are the business lessons that we need to learn from the rise of this iconic brand in India? This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions of curious learners come together to take premium classes from famous creators and industry leaders. From marketing to video editing to UI UX design, they have it all. Last time I took Gary Vee's class and learned about social media marketing, which I absolutely loved. And this month, I took a class from my inspiration for YouTube, and that is Marques Brownlee, also known as MKBHD. If you don't know who he is, he does tech reviews on YouTube and has over 15 million subscribers. And in this class, he teaches how he scripts, shoots and edits his videos. And slowly and steadily, I am implementing his tips and tricks in my upcoming videos. The best part about Skillshare is that it is an ad-free platform and works on a subscription model. This means, just like when you pay for Netflix, you get access to all the shows at once, at Skillshare, you get access to thousands of classes all at once, including Indian creators like Alicia Souza's illustration class and Ekta Chaudhary's gardening class and a lot more. This subscription will cost you less than 2,000 rupees a year, which comes down to less than 166 rupees per month. That is lesser than the cost of a Starbucks coffee. For Think Schoolers, Skillshare is giving 1 month free trial if you use the link in the description. This is applicable only for the first 1,000 people, so go ahead and click on the link below to explore all the amazing classes that they have to offer. This is a story that dates back to 1991, when our then Finance Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh liberalized the Indian economy, inviting foreign companies to set up their business in India. This is when the American company Jockey partnered with a Philippines garment business family called the Ginomals, who had Indian origins. This is when the Ginomals set up their Indian company by the name of Page Industries in India in 1995. And as soon as they set up their company over here, they started serving the entire country to understand the innerwear market of India. This is when they made 3 critical observations that laid the foundations for Page Industries in India. Number 1, they noticed that the inner garments in India, although functionally more important than the outerwear, they were not treated as a significant product in the market, and hence the market was completely commoditized. Number 2, the reason why this happened was because back then buying an innerwear at the shop was an awkward thing. In our generation, you must have seen the same thing happen with sanitary pads. That is, although it is an item of absolute necessity and very high importance, for some reason the society just makes it awkward, as if you're going to buy drugs. And for women, it was even worse, where either the men of the family or some elderly person used to buy innerwears for all the women in the family. And as you can imagine, comfort, size and fitting was just left to chance. And lastly, since the market was so commoditized, these products were never even taken out of packets. They just used to come in bulk from a local manufacturer, and whatever the seller wants to sell used to get sold to the customers. Therefore, convenience and fashion both were distant dreams in the innerwear market of India. And this is where, ladies and gentlemen, Page Industries saw its greatest opportunity to do business, because of which it was able to redefine the way innerwear was perceived in India. And you know what, guys? Instead of making it awkward, they openly started presenting huge posters in their stores to showcase both men and women in innerwear. And not just that, they specifically chose Caucasian models to feature their innerwears. Why? Because just like today, we have an inclination towards made in India products, back then, anything that was American was considered to be great, and you must have seen this with your relatives who lived in America. Regardless of what that person did, if he or she lived in America, then and there itself, that person became the star of the family. Similarly, American chocolates like Snickers were also considered to be a big deal back then. So if you see, the aspirational value for Western products was very high back then. Therefore, Jockey got in Caucasian models to bring an aspirational value to their products. This is the reason why Jockey was able to attract a large number of customers from tier 1 cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai and Kolkata. Now the question over here is, if Page Industries could do it, why couldn't other brands like Rupa and Lux beat them? Well, there are three reasons for that. Number one, Page was the only company to have the license to manufacture Jockey innerwears, because of which their design, both in terms of looks and comfort, was far superior than the competition. Secondly, very few brands actually worked on building an aspirational value for innerwear products. And lastly, the operations of Page Industries was far superior than its competition in three critical ways. The first aspect was labor management. People back in 1997, this is just 2 years after Page Industries was set up, two of their giant competitors, TTK Tantex and Associated Apparels, witnessed massive labor strikes, because of which they went out of business in the next 5 years. This was because in the textile industry, your manufacturing requires laborers in large numbers, and they also need to have a certain amount of skill to produce great products. For example, in case of Page Industries, if you look deep into their operation, the company spends a lot of efforts in training their workers. And once these workers are hired, they are given training for 30 days, after which, based on their performance, laborers are trained in multi-skilled operations. On an average, the company trains 900 to 1000 workers in these training centers every single year. So now, if suddenly these 1000 workers go on strike, even if the company wants to make fresh hires, they will need at least 30 days to get the manufacturing started. Similarly, if every year many of these workers keep leaving the company, it has a heavy impact on the production of the company. And because of this large dependency on laborers, when strike happened, companies like TTK and Associated Apparels failed miserably. But this is where Page realized the importance of labor relations in India, which is why, just like the Tatas, Page Industries has always gone out of the way to support and provide a good life for their workers. For instance, more than 10 years ago, Page pioneered the practice of offering free lunch to its workers. This practice subsequently became popular in the garment manufacturing industry. And over the past 20 years, the company has put in a lot of efforts to take good care of its workers. They have a strict policy against supervisors shouting at the workers. On top of that, there are a number of welfare officers in their factories whose primary job is to make sure that the workers are not unhappy. And unlike other factories, the Page management ensures that the workers get a great quality of free food in their factory canteen. Transportation is provided to the shift workers, even crush for children of workers is provided, and proper sanitation and health centers are made available in the factories itself. In fact, Page also has qualified doctors and nurses who provide free medical aid to the workers. And lastly, the company also provides medicines at free of cost to their workers, which is a unique feature compared to many other textile manufacturing setups. This is the reason why, let alone strikes, the workforce of Page Industries lives a much better quality of life as compared to the workers in other factories. And from the business standpoint, this gave Page Industries the superpower to set up an in-house manufacturing system. As a result, they were able to have a tight control to manufacture high-grade products as compared to the competition that outsourced their manufacturing due to the fear of labor strikes. And lastly, cherry on the cake was their IT investment and their relationship with distributors. Firstly, their data science solution is so incredible that they could accurately predict demand for the next quarter. As a result, they were able to place their orders for raw materials very well in advance. This further benefited the suppliers because they were able to manage their working cycles and cash flows better, because of which Page Industries was able to procure these raw materials at 3 to 4% less cost as compared to the competition. And at the same time, because of the marketing and branding of Jockey, the stock moved very quickly from the retailers also. In this book called The Unusual Billionaires, when Saurav Mukherjee and team collected data, one of Bengaluru's largest innerwear multi-brand retailers told them, and I quote, "Jockey gives me 25 to 30% margin compared to around 35% from other brands. However, if I keep other brands and Jockey in front of new customers, out of 10 customers, 7 will walk out with Jockey. I can guarantee that." Similarly, every 3 months, they keep refreshing the product range, be it innerwear, track pants or even t-shirts. For example, they will remove 5 colors which are slow moving and replace them with new colors. This gives a different look to the product and increases the scope of the customers trying new colors. And more importantly, the distributor feedback is heard and acted upon very seriously. So not only does Page launch new products, it also removes the products that do not work. This is the reason why, according to ICICI research report, as of August 21, Page Industries has been able to distribute its products in more than 2,895 cities and towns, has loyal retailers in 80,000 multi-brand outlets and 930 exclusive brand outlets, enabling it to sell 148 million units of its products in FY21 itself. The best part is that, in spite of the havoc that the pandemic caused to different industries because of its robust business model, according to ICICI research report of August 21, Page has been able to deliver consistent EBITDA margins of 20%. And if you draw a comparison of its rival on the basis of return on capital employed, you will see that while Rupa has generated an ROCE of 19.99%, Page was able to generate an ROCE of 47.76%. As in, while Rupa made 19.99 rupees per 100 rupees invested, Page was able to make 47.76 rupees per 100 rupees invested, which is a crazy number. And all of this is being done by keeping the company debt free. This is how, by breaking the stereotype of the Indian society, by building an aspirational value for a seemingly overlooked product like innerwear, and by providing a wonderful lifestyle to its frontline workers, the Gino Mills have built $1 billion empire out of Page Industries. And this brings me to the most important part of the episode, and that is, with all this story, now what are the practical business lessons that we need to learn from the rise of Page Industries? Lesson number 1, like I said before, while good brands learn from their mistakes, great brands learn from their competitors' mistakes. In this case, Page was a new entrant in India, but they learned the importance of labor relations through the fall of TTK and associated apparels. As a result, they were able to de-risk themselves from labor strikes, giving them a strong foundation to grow upon. Number 2, while most people think there is no scope for brand building in a commoditized market, you need to realize that a commoditized market is perhaps the best place to build a brand. Because if you're successful, it will skyrocket your sales in no time. In this case, it was the acumen of the founders of Page Industries to take the innerwears out from the boxes onto the posters that helped them stand out in a commoditized market. And lastly, while everybody learns how to see, great marketeers learn how to observe. In this case, it was a simple yet genius observation made by the jockey marketers to spot the aspirational value for foreign products in India due to the mega trend of liberalization. And before we say goodbye, if you want to read any further about Page Industries, please refer to HDFC Securities, ICICI Direct Reports, and this beautiful book written by Saurav Mukherjee called The Unusual Billionaires. That's all from my side for today, guys. If you learned something valuable, please make sure to hit the like button and want to make YouTube Baba happy. And for more such insightful business and political case studies, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.